This is a topic I have yet to see anybody talk about, and as somebody who's ridden the Staten Island Ferry multiple times, past and present, I believe I am more than qualified to give my opinions on whether riding the Staten Island Ferry is worth it or if you should just move to another borough. Number 1, keep track of time. The Staten Island Ferry comes every 30 minutes, meaning depending on your time you leave or how far you live, you're either running to catch the next door or you're waiting another 30 minutes for the next boat to come. And I don't know if this turns them on or something, but the people who open and closes the doors, they just can't wait to close the door in your face. They can see me hauling ass to catch the next door, and they would look at me in the face and still close the door because I'm 0.08 seconds late. Overall, 4 out of 10. Number 2, creepy crawlers. Alright, this one is a given considering it's NYC and New York City is full of homeless people all over, but the homeless people that be at the ferry are a whole nother breed. Like, back before the world ended in 2019, there was this viral video going around in my school about a homeless guy pulling the head off a pigeon while waiting for the ferry.
He took the pigeon and ripped his head off. With his hand.
Eddie David Paul, Recon. What's up? Eddie David.
You can go to jail for that.
He said because the pigeon took his 75 cents.
We looking at a man that just killed the pigeon with his bare hands, said he took his 75 cents. What
the
is
body
this
right
world
there.
coming to?
Look, the body right there and the head is right beside him.
What is this world coming to?
Just stay aside a little bit, guys.
All right.
Step aside.
What is this world coming to?
Step aside. Just in case you get tired. I'm just going aside, please, just in case
Okay.
it's violent.
All
stuff.
right.
You don't want
Okay.
to-
All right. Because if he did that to a bird, what he'll do to a human being?
I heard that he did it for a quarter, and I'm not mad at it since the pigeons inside the ferry are an entirely different breed within themselves, but this type of action was just very unnecessary. And the homeless people might get ideas that like one day it's pigeons and the next day, overall 6 out of 10. It could have been worse. Number 3, you might as well stand. I'm not sure whose idea it was to choose these nasty ass back-breaking chairs as our way of comfort, but whoever did it needs to be changed to one of these for the next week. Sitting on one of these for longer than 3 seconds make you feel like you just got your back broken out. They're so weirdly arched and a bunch of holes in them don't make it any better. Overall, 1.5 out of 10. Number 4, be first or be last. So this is the one that pisses me off a great deal. When the ferry is docking, somebody usually announces which door you have to go through to board the ferry. You either have to be the first person at the door or the last person. There's no in between. I don't know what it is about the whitey folks who ride the ferry, but they are the slowest motherfuckers you will ever meet. Like, I'd rather work at a Waffle House than have to ever physically interact with one of these turtles again. It's not like they're just slow, they're also inconsiderate of the people around them. The amount of times I've been pushed or shoved or just skipped is baffling, and they never say nothing. Not a sorry, not a maybe, but honestly, I try not to take it personally as they're probably all disappointments to their families. Overall, -1 out of 10. Number 5, don't ride at night. Okay, so this one is very biased since it pertains to my own personal experience, but sit down, it's time for a story time. So this takes place April of 2021, specifically 1 week before my birthday. I had traveled to Brooklyn to get my hair done. Fast forward, it's 1 a.m. I'm at the Whitehall terminal waiting for the ferry so I could go home. And during really late nights, the ferry runs every hour or so. I had missed the first one and was waiting for the next. The ferry was docking, so me and the other few people started to wait at the door. Tell me why this musty, dusty, stank-ass nigga walks up to me and asks me for something. He was holding his hand out and I assumed he was asking for money. I declined and told him I didn't have any money, and he proceeds to come up inches from my ear and says, "Let's have sex." At this time, the door was opening and everybody was boarding the ferry, so I wasn't able to hear him well. I said cool and I peaced out, right? Wrong. This crusty vanilla-ass nigga proceeds to follow me to my seat while this dude looks like he's in his mid-50s. I found a section that had the most people sitting, which was like 4 people, and he sits down right next to me. At this point, I FaceTime my friend and subtly explain the situation. About 8 minutes or so goes by, and I'm still on the phone with my friend while also trying to figure out how to get myself out of the situation. And while I'm thinking this dude just slides up next to me and whispers in my ear, "Let's go do it over there." And at this point, I'm stressed, anxious, and scared. Finally, I open my mouth and I tell him that I'm 16 years old, which was 100% a lie, but I was only a year older, so. Anyways, after that, he smiles through his mask and leaves somewhere else. After the ferry had docked, I was waiting for the bus and I was completely on edge for the whole hour it took for the bus to come, constantly imagining what would have happened if I didn't say anything or if he was going to come back. I never saw him after that, and I hope I never will. Overall, negative 50,000 out of 10.